Ah, shit. Here we go again, baby. Alright, y'all. Shit, my bad. This is gonna be a one-take video because, shit, it's hot. I want y'all to hear my opinions without any of these edits and shit, so y'all can just hear my full thoughts and shit. So, before I start, y'all see the title, I'm gonna give you some backstory. Now, I've played many fighting games, you know, Tekken, Street Fighter, you know, Guilty Gear, Fighters, you know. I've played many, Soul Calibur, even like the more niche fighting games, you know, even shit like Tori Bash, which is a fighting game which is different, but I've played many fucking games that are, you know, classified as fighting games. Now, I got asked some shit like, I got asked, you know, how do you feel about many people calling Hitokiri overpowered? And you know, it was a very interesting question because at first I was like, players in For Honor are the most pick and choosy motherfuckers, you know. But the more, you know, I saw the question and we spoke about why the question was asked, you know, there's been a lot of Hitokiri, you know, slander, a lot of Hitokiri's top tier, a lot of Hitokiri's this, that, and the other. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all now. I think in the For Honor community that like most of the players need to just play a real fighting game. They need to get up For Honor, play a real fighting game, understand what the fuck a real fighting game is, because I feel like, don't get me wrong, the devs are bad, they improve, but the devs are bad. The devs are, but the community is one of the worst communities because most of these players never have played a fighting game. They don't understand what a fighting game is supposed to, you know, have it, you know, they don't understand what it's supposed to entail, you know what I mean? Like, I hear people complaining about all this type of shit and then like, it's like, but that's just a mix-up. So, the first thing that, you know, because I was like, you know, going around, I saw a video, I saw some comments as well, which was fucking toxic, but I saw this one video of like some guy, like, I guess ranting about like fucking Hitokiri and shit, and it was like, he was saying like shit like, she has a dodge attack which is broken, my bad, she has a dodge attack which is broken, I can't even delay this shit. You know, her dodge attack makes her broken, her mix-up is broken, her heavies are broken, you know, even the light which is broken. But like, and some comments, you know, I had the whole every Hitokiri player is brain dead, if you play Hitokiri you don't know what the fuck you're doing, this, that, and the other. So I'll say this. Sorry for any background noise, by the way, it's a sunny day out, so you might hear some shit outside. But I'll say this, when it comes to people complaining about Hitokiri, ask yourself, have you ever played a fighting game before? Ask yourself, do you know what a mix-up really is? You know, do you understand what a mix-up intensive character is supposed to do? Because if you don't understand what a mix-up intensive character is supposed to do, then you're just doing shit all wrong. Alright, so now I'm gonna be real with this shit. Like, this, if you think this dodge attack's OP, then you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but people say, you know, there's a whole bunch of iframes, you know, no guard break vulnerability, but this is one of those dodge attacks which you have to commit to. There's no, I'm gonna delay this like Ken say, you know, there's no, but this is the most straightforward dodge attack I've seen in my entire fucking time playing For Honor. The dodge attacks where you just gotta commit to it, I feel like that's all most dodge attacks should be. I feel like the only characters that should have like non-committable dodge attacks are characters that are classified as dodge attack specialists. You know, you can delay it. What I mean by non-committable is you can delay it, then do a dodge attack so you can look at what your opponent's doing, then dodge attack. But this isn't OP for shit. It's a dodge attack. If you're really that hurt, I'm about doing a mix-up. You feint the mix-up and parry the dodge attack. Now, obviously, there's going to be some instances where you go to throw a button and the player dodge attacks, but that's all about your timing. The game gives you tools to bait a dodge attack. The game gives you valuable tools to bait a dodge attack. And I feel like with option select going soon, it's like, is this really an issue? No. Are other dodge attacks an issue? Yeah. I mean, there's Kensei that's literally dodging a whole mix-up that you can't do shit against except for parry. You know what I mean? But the same shit goes. You know what I mean? There's JJ, which has a built-in mix-up with his dodge attack. Feel me? You know what I mean? But even then, like, even then, like, when it comes to Hitokiri's dodge attack, which I'm talking about, this ain't no problem because you can parry it, and then you doing a mix-up after. That ain't an issue because this is a whole parryable dodge attack. She's a mix-up character. And this is the most, and to be honest, pre-nerf Hitokiri was 10 times better than this shit. She did a lot of damage, her mix-up was effective, and shit, the only way you could beat Hitokiri is using a bash character. Now, you can beat Hitokiri with any character. Any character that you fight against with Hitokiri, you can beat her. Now, there are some differences. Obviously, it's not always gonna be like a 5-5 matchup. You know, like if a Hitokiri is, you know, variable time heavy and you never dealt with these, then you're gonna have some trouble. But the best solution for that shit is back dodge. Back dodging, you know, back dodge roll. You know what I mean? Just roll. Because she isn't one of those heavily effective characters that out here fucking... She doesn't have an undodgeable move. She has this which can track you. But even then, you can dodge out the way and shit, you know. So, she isn't one of those crazy over-effective characters. You know, she just does what she does well now. Another thing is, I want to cover is the mix-up. I've always heard shit about this mix-up, how you're not supposed to be able to feint a bash into guard break. But it's like, if you wasn't able to do this, you know how linear this mix-up would be? You know how easy this mix-up would be to fucking option select? You would literally, all you'd have to do against this mix is just dodge roll. The reason why you feint is to catch dodge rollers. This is a mix-up. Now, how I feel about this shit is like, because I hear a lot of shit about Hitokiri's brain dead, but even then, this character takes brains to play just as much as it takes to defend against her. A lot of foreigner players have never played a fighting game before and want to autopilot. You know what I mean? A lot of foreigner players just don't want to be put in a situation when they have to react, they have to deal with something. You know, they have to make a choice. You know, you can't always just dodge. And the more skilled players, to be honest, I fuck with the more skilled players because, as a matter of fact, they are not worried about this shit. They make the choice and deal with it. And it's not like this character's the most obnoxious character in the game because now characters have tools to deal with shit. Like when it comes to heavy spam, there's even characters that can do a dodge attack to beat her heavy, you know, variable timed heavy. You know, if you don't have a dodge attack, just dodge roll back. You know, some characters even have a bash, you know what I mean? So, you know, I wouldn't advise doing this shit against variable time heavies and shit, but let's say that, you know, Hitokiri's whiffing heavies and shit, dodge bash. You don't got a dodge bash. If you don't got no bash, no shit, then just back dodge roll. Reset it back into neutral. Now, I'm reckoning that people call Hitokiri OP because they don't know how to deal with mix-ups. They don't want to deal with mix-ups. You know, and I'm talking about the players that specifically hate this character because they are sick and tired of going into a match where they have to think of their option. And the thing is about this mix-up, I don't think it's broken or OP, because it's like all these options other characters have, which I'm going on to the next subject, because Hitokiri's been called OP for a long time. She's been called top tier even after her nerf where she couldn't do shit. Her heavies were, bro, I ain't even gonna talk about her shit. Listen, when Hitokiri got that bullshit nerf because motherfuckers be complaining and shit, 'cause I've been playing for her for a long time. Most of these motherfuckers played this game after PS Plus came out. I've been playing this shit way before. Way before. Way before. And I can tell you this. This shit with the mix-up, like, they nerfed this character and gave Centurion the mix, and no one complained about Centurion. No one complained about Centurion, meaning, in my opinion, that the For Honor community is the most pick and choose motherfucking community. Y'all pick and choose who you want to be top tier. Let's be real with y'all. Y'all didn't fuck with Raider, but when Lawbringer had that shove, that hyper armor shove, unpunishable as fuck. Unpunishable as fuck. The only way you punish it with a bash. I had to, this is off topic, but I had to main Warden. I had to make, when I was going to go and ranked and shit to fight, all I thought was Lawbringer and Warden, because those are the only two viable fucking characters back then. I couldn't play Armusher. I couldn't play the characters that I wanted to play back then. I couldn't play the shit I wanted to play back then. I'll be real with you. I couldn't play shit. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers won't complain about Lawbringer's shove. Motherfuckers weren't saying shit about that hyper armor shoving shit. Now I ain't gonna talk about that wild shit about way back in the day, cause that's some bullshit. Motherfuckers be bringing up wild shit back in the day, but bruh, trying to pick and choose who they want to be nerfed because they don't want to deal with specific shit. Now I know there's gonna be some genius, some Einstein, you know, in the comments, you know, maybe like, oh, but Centurion doesn't have heavies on everything. Is, you know, if it does light punch, it's only a light, you know, unless you fully charge the punch and get 38 damage. But in comparison, you know, it's like you're getting 22 damage on this consecutive 22s and shit. And most characters you can only do like 5, you have to do basically 5 mix-ups. That's 5 guesses. Let's say I start with a heavy, that is 5 guesses from that heavy. If you guess wrong each time, Hitokiri will get out of stamina in the end, and then pretty much you have a chance. You know, 20, I feel like this shit's fair because it's 22 damage. This shit's 22 damage. This ain't a lot of damage. This damage does not fucking matter. You know, this damage isn't a big deal. You don't want to hear a whole bunch of shit about this damage, like variable time to heavies. It's not a big deal. Not a chip damage. You know, you can get a good amount of chip with this character, but it's like the damage with the mix-up isn't even all that high. You know, and I'm comparing Hitokiri to Centurion because it's like they both follow the same type of, you know, shebang. You know, light bash light for Centurion, but I feel like Centurion's more dangerous with his type of game plan because Centurion can do a more dangerous mix, because when you're at low stamina and Centurion puts you in the mix, you can lose your stamina. Then you have to deal with the kick, you have to deal with the 50-50s. So yeah, the only difference between Centurion and Hitokiri is that Centurion don't have a dodge attack, which this motherfucker, to be honest, I feel like every character needs some way of a dodge attack or a dodge bash. Not both, that's fucking stupid. So if they get Centurion a dodge attack, he'll be good. He'll be better than Hitokiri. He'll be much better than this character, because he'd have a way to get into his mix, you know, be able to deal with bash spam, he'd be able to deal with shit that he needs to deal with and get into mix. Dodge attack was made for Hitokiri because they saw she struggled heavily against characters with bashes. One of her worst matchups ever since release was actually characters with bashes. You know, release Hitokiri was a nightmare though. Even I say she was broken. She was absolutely broken. She could trade with every single character in the game. She beated half the fucking roster because at the time no one had a bash. The knights that had the bashes were the best class. They were the best. Any character with a bash beat Hitokiri or could fight her on an even scale. But even them, this used to do 30 damage. This mix-up used to be a 30 damage mix. So pretty much she was a one-hit. She was basically like a one-hit character in a way. Cause if she gets right, it was over. Now this is 22. You getting chances with this 22 damage. You know, so I feel like people complain about Hitokiri. You know, honestly, ain't play fighting games, cause if a foreigner player fought Kazuya, Mishima, and Tekken, they fucking cry. 50-50s. You know, like Hitokiri is basically Kazuya Mishima minus the crazy execution, because look at this. Punishable if you miss. Punishable if you miss. You know, punishable. Punishable. Everything. Punishable. You know, even this. Guard break punishable. Guard break punishable. They took away the hyper armor from this when this was guard break punishable. You know? So I honestly feel like the foreigner community hates on this character for no goddamn reason. There's no reason to be out here on some bullshit about this character when, yeah, you can say she top tier, but the only reason why she top tier is because she works with what she's supposed to do. She's a mix-up based character. You know, we are talking about 1v1s and 2v2s. I'm not going to talk about Dominion because I feel like Dominion's a completely different subject. You know, but and excuse the voice cracks, excuse all that shit. You know, this is a one-take video. I'm not being professional in this video whatsoever. You know, I'm being ghetto as fuck. But as I said, this is opinion. I feel like now this character, put this down. People complain so much about this character, but they don't realize that I feel like in For Honor, every character in a way does what Hitokiri does, just not as effective. How many characters have an unblockable? How many characters in this game? What the CC was about was like, okay, let me get my words out. So the CCU now came out, fuck console up, you know. I still think the CCU, the devs don't give a fuck about console. They put PS5, you know, that's got 60 FPS. I do think that they could make a performance setting, get rid of, you know, some of the graphics and all that, and make the game, you know, 60 FPS. But away from that, the CCU was made for offense. It was made for people to attack more, because at the time we had characters like Lawbringer just looking at you. There was characters, literally, there was matches in, I've had matches in ranked where it went to the fucking time limit. Where it literally went to the time limit because I wasn't about to attack this motherfucker. This motherfucker wasn't about to attack me. I just sat there. Bruh, I'm dead serious when I say I went on my fucking phone in the middle of a match because it just took so long. I'm not attacking. That was before the CCU, you know, before the CCU, the talent in For Honor, you know. But now they want offense. They want you to react. Well, not react, but they want you to, you know, move. They want you to make a move, you know. They're forcing you to make a decision. They're forcing you to do something. This character forces players to not autopilot, to think about what their opponent's doing, and to make a move. Listen, in the highest level play in any fighting game, people have lost due to 50-50s. 50-50s are needed in any fighting game, because if there's no 50-50, it's a game of reactions. It's a very dangerous game. You know, like before, you know, you could react to a lot of shit. Like, I'll be real, I was one of the only, I feel like, console players. You know, there's a couple, but I was consistently light parrying on a busted old TV, bro. You know, so I understand where people are coming from, where characters were specifically useless, you know, before the CCU on both platforms, because, you know, you could just light parry a whole moveset. Like, you could see For Honor videos where lights were literally not even that viable, because, you know, you could parry. But anyway, apart from that, like, all this character does is force you to make a move. You need to make a move here, and if you make the right choice, you punish me. That's how fighting games are. That's how fighting games are. If I'm doing an unblockable and fainting into a guard break, I'm forcing a reaction. You know what I mean? I'm forcing a reaction. If I'm variable timing my heavies, I'm forcing a reaction. This is a mix-up character. She's supposed to force a reaction. She's supposed to force you to make a choice. If she was as unthreatening as she was when she got nerfed, no one would be... You know, I am gonna say that shit because some of y'all motherfuckers in this community was complaining about this character too. When she was nerfed. When she wasn't even doing shit properly. When they took away everything she had and wondered why motherfuckers weren't touching her. Hitokiri right now don't need no buffs, no nerfs. She don't need any of that. All she needs to do is have the same game plan and give every other character a buff up to at least force a reaction. And all y'all motherfucking players out there that are complaining about this character, please take a moment and think about how fighting games are. Think about how this game is and their philosophy for design, because bruh, you nerfing this character ain't gonna change shit. It ain't gonna change shit. Some of y'all bitch fucks are gonna run into a Hitokiri, you're gonna get 2 pieced up and then fucking still cry. Y'all motherfuckers pick and choose who you like and who you dislike. Why don't I hear more shit about Shigoki? Why don't I hear more shit about all these other alleged top tiers? Why am I always hearing shit about Hitokiri? And don't think it ends here. I got another video coming for y'all about Kaioshin, about some other characters that I think y'all bitch about, but y'all need to shut the fuck up about, cause there ain't no shit OP about them. And for the people that say Hitokiri is brain dead, of course there are gonna be players out here on some stupid shit, dodge attacking all the time. I've done that shit. But not only with Hitokiri, I've done this shit with Zanhu, I've done this shit with most characters with a dodge attack where I just said fuck it, I'ma just spam. You know what I mean? But that's part of a fighting game. You're supposed to punish me. I think 400 players are the most soft motherfuckers on the game. Y'all motherfuckers soft. How y'all complaining about shit that ain't even game breaking? Nah, the non-committal bullshit. Yeah, if you can late dodge then dodge attack, that needs guard break vulnerability. But if it's some shit you gotta commit to, a parry's good enough. You know, some people say every dodge attack should be a light parry. You know how easy it is to parry dodge attacks? If this shit equated to a light parry, you know how easy it would be to get damage? And then y'all will complain even more about Hitokiri, because Hitokiri is gonna sit here, charge up an unblockable, and then you go on dodge attack. Then we're going light, you know, get a light parry from the dodge attack, get a heavy into mix up. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly don't see anything that's overpowered about this character. I just see a character that works. Nah, the hyper armor and shit, I don't want to hear nothing about this, because this shit ain't even a big deal. This shit was really only to help her in ganks. Because the issue with Hitokiri before was, in ganks, she couldn't really function. Because, Hitokiri is a very static character. She's not a movement character in my opinion. Even the dodge attack, like, she's not one that's going to be moving around. You know, she's very, even her moveset, you know, it's not like other characters where they can really anti-gank. I feel like Hitokiri's anti-gank ain't that great. That other characters made for that. Hitokiri is more of a character that sits on a point. There's one player approaching, she deals with them, gives them a nightmare, you know, waste time for the teammate to come with the 50-50s, you know. But and what I mean by anti-gank is, you know, even in 2v2s, like, you know, Hitokiri was fucking useless in 2v2 because motherfucker will see her charge her heavy and just go like this. But this is a one-take video, so I'm gonna bounce between topics and shit, you know what I mean? But, you know, just for a sum up, I don't think this is broken. I feel like this is just a dodge attack. The mix-up after is punishment for you not fucking parrying this shit. You know, even in CC you can parry dodge attack. Shut the fuck up, I can do it myself. The kick mix-up, stop being a bitch. If you want it to be nerfed, better complain about Centaurian, War Mummy, or the characters with a bash faint mix-up, complain about them too. Shut the fuck up, don't want to hear it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Nah, the variable timed heavies, I don't see that as a problem to me, because this is just her archetype mix-up intensive. I've fought against people who variably time their heavies and shit, and then I will block it for a while, you know, eat the chip damage, because that's some stamina. She's wasting her own stamina doing this shit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? She's wasting her stamina, you know. And even then, if she's still doing this shit, I'll just dodge roll, you know, move out the way, you know, reset it into neutral, make her try and approach me, you know, then we fight again. Make sure I don't fall for the same shit, maybe dodge, you know, hit her with a light, you know. So there's many things you can do, you know, and there's many things that I feel like the devs, they did amazing balancing the mix-up intensive characters, because they're punishable when they fail to hit you with a mix-up. And that's the best part about these characters balancing, because in this game is very known for having characters that are unpunishable when they do specific shit that gives big reward. You know, Lawbringer got a full 50-50, you know, unpunishable. Now he's cool, you know. I don't even mean to sound like a Lawbringer hater, but that's the main character which I thought people were complaining so much about these new characters, but didn't complain about Lawbringer, which completely destroyed, you know, half the characters. And to be honest, I will say this, the For Honor community are the most tier whoring bitches. Y'all are just bitches. I barely see Hitokiri that much in matches either. When I do see them, they're not even that hard to beat. I'm gonna be real with you, they're not that hard to beat. I've fought Hitokiri's, and the thing about her is she has to initiate with an attack. With that mentally in mind, you could literally, you can play, you can really just do Hitokiri's real dirty, you know. And I feel like when you fight Hitokiri, don't be afraid to take damage either. She's a character that's gonna do damage to you. But the fact about Hitokiri is, if she misses a mix-up, that's when you come and get involved and punish her. You know, so it's really like, when it comes to character and balancing, Hitokiri is not a character that I can see as a broken character. I can see Hitokiri as an effective top tier character. I cannot see her as broken. I do think she's balanced, and I do think that she's at a strength which is great for a mix-up character. Just like how most characters are in fighting games, Hitokiri is just another mix-up character that people don't know how to deal with. Her 50-50 is fine. Most of the shit she does is fine. You know, I said I wasn't going to talk about Dominion, I'm talking about ganks, but that's just me. You know, but you know, and this whole Hitokiri being brain dead, I don't see this character as brain dead. I don't see the character's brain dead. And I saw another player talk about, before I even end this, another player spoke about how Hitokiri was the only character that is great amongst all different levels of play, and that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Usually, you know, because you gotta realize that For Honor isn't an execution based game. There's no execution in For Honor. There's no execution barrier in this game, which makes stuff which in another fighting game, like in an absolutely different fighting game like Hitokiri, would have been an execution based character. You know, I could see her being an execution based character, and even then, like, I feel like when it comes to her mixes, you know, the way she plays, like, she's gonna be good amongst all levels, but the difference is the strength of Hitokiri relies on the player and how they can force a reaction, because there's players that do this and there's players that do, you know, the early feints and shit, and then there's players that will delay a little bit and get the guard break. You know, there are many players that, you know, even remain safe, you know, watch what the player does. You know, in different levels you can force different reactions, and this, you know, dodge attack brings a bigger mind game to Hitokiri, so she can fully punish, you know, most things and get back into a mix-up. I feel like this is a great character that initiates great 50-50, you know, that causes both players on the sides to think, causes both players on the sides to get reward, causes, you know, both sides to have a balanced, you know, fight. The only difference between in this game is that certain characters really won't fall off when it comes to all the stuff that's happening. Because when you see For Honor's design and the whole philosophies, it's definitely changed over the years. It went from reactable, they tried to make it unreactable, then they're making it more 50-50 based, which is more traditional fighting game, which rock, paper, scissors is, you know, what people usually try and say that fighting games are. It's just, you know, rock, paper, scissors. You know, but I don't know. I personally think Hitokiri has depth to her that other characters in front of just don't. You know, like if you're a traditional fighting game player and you play Hitokiri, you understand how it is. You know, you understand how fighting games are. You understand that methodical playstyle that you can play with Hitokiri. That, you know, heavily, I'm gonna make you do something, and you know, even then, like her light, you know, a lot of people don't realize her light doesn't even fully you can dodge roll this. I don't even think they changed that. So when you do this, you can actually dodge roll out of the light. Well, people don't know that, like, there's not much labbing going in, and I understand why players don't lab, because there's no good training facilities. I feel like there should be a record mode in For Honor, but you know, my opinion about this character Hitokiri and Centurion and all the mix-up based characters like Warmonger and all that is, they're traditional fighting game characters, and it's great to play a character that can force both players to play in that methodical play style, because it's a deeper game, you know. And it's not like, you know, I really don't feel like Hitokiri is gonna one-shot you when it comes to mixing you up. I don't feel like she's gonna one-shot you. I feel like that's the core of her design, you know. And she has various options. She's not just a one-brain character. She's multi-brain, you know what I mean? I said multi-brain, but deeper, you know what I mean? She's more of a deeper character, you know, that you can do many things with. You know, you can chip damage a player out, force them to dodge roll into guard break. This is what our character is. Mix-up based, powerful. You know, powerful because they force reactions, but extremely punishable. So that's my take on Hitokiri. Like, you know, as a duelist, as, you know, person that played many 1v1s, played, you know, the new, I'll call this new age For Honor, you know, played pre-nerf Hitokiri against the, you know, played For Honor for so long, played many fighting games. I've you know, just looked at the character and I've just been like, you know, this character isn't really broken. You know, I don't see her as broken. I see her as just like the average character, really the average mix-up character, but in this game made more effective by a bitch player base, you know. But I'm not saying all people that complain about Hitokiri are bitches, because I understand, you know, if you don't want to fight a specific mix-up based character, but it's a fighting game, man. You know, For Honor, unfortunately, you know, is a fighting game, and you know, when you fight characters like this, you have to think. And I love that they kept this type of playstyle in the game, because it makes players like me think more and not be as bored as I am fighting a character like, say, Griffin, which is extremely boring and monotone to fight. You know, there's not much going on. You know, when I fight characters like Hitokiri, Centurion, all these, when I get hit by a player that's a mix-up master, it's a beautiful masterclass, and sometimes I rage. But when a player knows how to mix you up and uses every single move, you know, to the most, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy, man, and it's insane. It's insane. So yeah, like, You know, this might be a long video, you know, might be a lot of jumbled up subjects. Hopefully y'all can get my two-piece. If y'all don't understand, then just let me know and I'll just make another video and, you know, talk about it in a more professional way. But I just wanted to make a quick, you know, smackdown video, talk the real shit about everything, how I feel about these characters. I'm gonna make this a series on who I think is stupid, who I think is normal, and I'm gonna talk from, you know, more of a console perspective, because I feel like PC already has a bunch of players, but on console, you know, the majority, you know, I don't think she's a huge problem. I think she just doesn't need a buff or a nerf. I just think she's in a position where she's just always going to be complained about because players pick and choose, and players don't want to see. Players, I feel like if Centurion was exactly like Hitokiri, they wouldn't complain. If he got a heavy after each punch, fully charged punch knocked them down and he still got the stab. If he had a dodge attack and the bash, people wouldn't complain. You know, Warmonger, you know, still plus after her light bash light. You know, don't hear much complaints about certain things like that in the game. It's just Hitokiri is a name that's hated because of how she was released. But the fact of the matter is, she's not fucking broken. And there's brain dead players in the game, but this character brain dead? Fuck no. I feel like you as a player need to analyze the Hitokiri player, make a decision, then if you get it wrong, then that's how it is. Because you have multiple chances. You have multiple chances to dodge or, you know, backward if you think, or even forward bash if you think she's gonna, you know, kick feint. You have multiple chances to do shit. It's for you to use your noggin. You know, variable timed heavies. Everything she does is punishable. You know, everything she does is punishable. You know, can do quick heavy, slower heavy, very slow heavy. You know, everything she does is punishable. You know, so you know, it's like, wow. You know, it's like, wow. What's the problem? You know, what's so crazy about this? But I'ma end it here and upload this shit, and I'ma see y'all comments, see what y'all think. But I don't think Hitokiri is overpowered. I'm gonna go over Kaioshin next because I've heard a lot talk about him. But yeah, peace.